Just some thoughts. I was thinking of making art in the normal spot, but today I was feeling a little too sick still. Whatever's going on. COVID-22 or whatever this is. Got the screwed up tooth fixed finally. I didn't hesitate to spend money on it because I'm a good American. The job does like me. I really did have to call out on account of la fiebre, and they really, they don't like when I call out because they don't really have anybody else right now, at least. So I don't call out like that. I feel bad doing it. I'm a good slave, and I really do feel bad. I think I have pissed people off hardcore by feeling bad in situations where apparently I should just think selfishly, or just not. See, they wouldn't define it as selfishly. It's just the way when they describe it. I can understand the origin of the term empath, even though it's garbage and not true technically. Hate to say it. From what I understand, you're just a HSP, highly sensitive person. But it's of course co-opted by people who are, hypersensitive to narcissistic injury. Again, from what I understand. Interesting dreams. Still, the weird malls and stuff, it's really repetitive at this point. That has somehow become the new uncontrollable car that I spoke about before. When people realize that you're somehow retarded, it's always interesting the dramatic shift in how you're treated, how it shows up. And I know even that I've probably given this to people who, I would consider, that would be to me literally difficult to communicate with on account of their quantity of gray matter. Like my boss, for example, I think I literally occasionally just piss him off because I roundabout describe shit. Apparently, it just takes too long for me to come up with explanations. But this guy is like, he's highly intelligent, but he's also kind of like autistic in the sense that he needs like a yes or no. It's like nuance oftentimes is like, if I can't flesh it out fast enough, he gets pissed. Which, I mean, if you're that as intelligent as somebody like that, I can understand. Having to deal with more and more people it's just eye opening. Apparently, the dire condition of social relations between people, it's not so bad over the entire planet. But here it's interesting. There is like an invisible caste system, a social caste system. There's even a movie, literally. I didn't even mean to say this, but there's a movie, it's the Ghibli film that it was what it's based on a book. I think it's called When Marnie Was There, and there's a that's the opening line, I think, where the girl says, "In this world, there's an invisible magic circle, and you're either in or out, inside or outside." But it's stratified, like almost like literally like a Hindu caste system, but for it's invisible. It's not. It's all just scent based, basically. Here's one. Well, there's a Disney film called Oliver and Company. This will lead me into something that I also wanted to discuss. That is depictions of various classes of people in cartoons. Because a cartoon, especially up until, I mean, a cartoon is it's so deliberate that everything about it takes effort to draw thousands of pictures of stuff. There's effort required. Like, you have to craft narratives and really cement them into what you're doing, because you're drawing the thing over and over again. It's imagery. And I draw pictures. In this film, it's interesting because there's a guy who's essentially, if it was an adult film, quote unquote, like if Ralph Bakshi was directing it instead of whoever was directing it, ended up making it. If it was Ralph Bakshi making Oliver and Company, it would be hilarious, because Fagin, listen to this dude's name also. The guy who is the inhabitor of the dilapidated tugboat beneath a dock somewhere in New York City, where all of the dogs and talking dogs live, and the cat Oliver, and this guy, if it was a Ralph Bakshi film, he would have just been like a junkie, or like an old school, or like a crackhead. It was, or whatever the movie came out, it was like 1982 or something, 85, I think, actually. Whatever, 80s. I think mid 80s, but because it's Disney, they're like, well, we can't give him a crack pipe or whatever. We'll just make him retarded, and it's like, so they depict this monkey-ish man as basically just like as they make it ostensible that he can't count, that he wears the exact same clothes. He's depicted as some form of slow, because unless I'm missing something, he's never shown taking anything or doing anything weird, like getting fucked up. He actually does weird shit throughout the entire film. I take it back. Substances. Also, my head is hurting. Not so bad. I will speak more about migraines too, because at one point I literally thought I was just gonna have a short life because I was so tired of migraines, and what that did to me for years. The other humans in the film are depicted much more human-like, right? This dude he owes money to. There's no way you could really look at that person and say he's animalistic looking. Not really. He looks scary as hell, but this dude Fagin basically looks like a monkey. He's depicted with gigantic hands. He literally looks like an ape. In fact, when I first saw the movie, I thought he was an ape because of how how raging the disparity is between him and these other characters. Like, the antithesis of him in the film would be this little girl that the cat, the little Oliver belongs to. She is very much obviously a human person. Like this, she's not caricaturized in any sense at all. It's essentially it's like 85% realism, like almost like more realism than The Little Mermaid, basically. Right. But so I'm not entirely sure what even the whole process was, obviously. But I'm thinking this depiction is, if nothing, to me it's just it's fascinating. Because I can't think of any other reason why they would have made him slow, other than that it's like they needed to have this, for some reason, a person down there living in the tugboat with all the talking animals. And Billy Joel. That movie is actually hilarious. It's funny. But it's funny. It's like they'll be like it. Obviously, I'm not saying, well, give him a heroin problem or something horrific. But it's like what they did to him instead of that is not less horrific. It's still pretty bad. An intellectually disabled man lives in a non-inspection passing, probably not registered tugboat, drawing power from who knows where. Like, how he has power in there, I have no clue. Living with animals who he's under the impression that they speak. Like, so instead of giving him a drug problem, he's given schizophrenia and autism and like some severe learning disability, and is like an orphan or something, and lives in a boat. It's like insanely. It's like there are certain classes that even in the cartoons they're written off and they're like, isn't this guy gross? You know, like, because I don't know if it was supposed to be cutesy. I didn't. It's like the dude is kind of just talking to animals in a boat. You know, to me, I'm like, I can kind of see why that movie isn't as well known. I'm like, also, there should have been way more like dwellers. Where were the other ones? I need to rewatch it because I'd see it's this this stuff betrays where the culture's at. So he was kind of like one of the protagonists, I guess, right? And I guess they put it in. I have no clue what the deal is. And I don't even. I'm not saying it like it shouldn't have happened, even that it's negative or that it's like negative representation and should be scrubbed. I'm like, they were raw as hell with this depiction of a destitute, homeless man that it was like it was like fucked up. Like, I kind of don't remember everything. I'm just thinking to myself, dude, like, this movie's kind of raw. Also, the ethnic stereotypes are off the chain. Even like for now, I love it though, but it's like the ethnic stereotypes, like, holy shit, pretty great. Yeah. So if you're retarded, it's like being a junkie. It's like being shoe gum. Bro, trust me.